So it's being reported that Karmelo Anthony's family is now taking the money from the GoFundMe and renting a $900,000 home along with buying an Escalade.
This one's deep and we need to talk about it. A young black student named Karmelo Anthony is at the center of a case that's got the internet on fire. He took the life of a white student. And now there's a fundraiser to support him and his family. But as soon as the money started coming in, here come the attacks. Mostly from white Americans saying, why are people giving him money? And now they're even claiming that his family is out here spending the money on houses and cars. But let me ask this. Where is this same outrage when it's the other way around? When black families lose someone, or when we get mistreated by the system, how often do we see people stepping up for us? Why is it always a problem when black folks come together and support our own? Why can't we grieve, survive, or defend ourselves without being judged for it? Now, for those who don't know what happened, here's the backstory. On April 2nd, Karmelo Anthony was arrested after a fight broke out at a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. Witnesses say he and a 17-year-old white student named Austin Metcalf got into a heated argument. At some point during the argument, Karmelo pulled out a knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest.
We're learning new details about what led to the stabbing Wednesday of a Frisco teenager at a track meet. Our Trevor Sahaki is live at the Frisco Municipal Court with the latest. So, Trevor, do we know what started all of this in the first place?
Well, Karen, we do now. I just got the arrest report for 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony about an hour ago, and I've been going through it since then. Now, moments after he was arrested, Anthony confessed to the stabbing and told police it was in self-defense. Now, Anthony is in jail and charged with that murder. According to the arrest report, this happened around 10 a.m. on Wednesday. A witness told police Anthony was from Centennial High School, but was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin Metcalf, the victim, told him to move. The witness told police Anthony said, quote, touch me and see what happens. Witnesses say Metcalf grabbed or pushed Anthony, who pulled a knife and stabbed him. According to various officers who responded, Anthony said things like, quote, I was protecting myself, and, quote, he put his hands on me. Officers also wrote that Anthony said, quote, I did it, and asked if Metcalf was going to be okay. While officers didn't find the knife on Anthony, they did find blood on his fingers. Officers eventually found the knife in the bleachers.
Your mom told me that you were there.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't mind, what happened?
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So.
Yeah. The police report says Metcalf died at the hospital about an hour after being stabbed.
When police got there, Karmelo didn't run. He cooperated and got in the car peacefully. While he was in the back of the police car, he even asked the officer if Austin was okay, and if what he did would count as self-defense. That moment right there, it says a lot. It wasn't like he planned this or was proud of it. It sounds like he was scared, confused, and maybe even trying to protect himself. But now, the case has taken on a whole new life, especially online. People are raising money to support Karmelo's family, and others are angry about it. That's where all this heat is coming from.
So it's being reported that Karmelo Anthony's family is now taking the money from the GoFundMe and renting a $900,000 home along with buying an Escalade. So what happened is the judge, he had $1 million bond. The judge reduced it to $250,000. Apparently they made $500,000 off the GoFundMe. So what did they do with that extra $250,000? You would think, are they paying lawyers? No. They're renting a really nice house. They're buying fancy cars. God knows what else they're buying that they're not reporting. What is the state of America when you can literally somebody and then people give you a bunch of money to GoFundMe and you don't actually take that money to pay lawyers, you take that money to live like a lavish lifestyle. America is gone full-blown insane. It's the same story with Luigi. This guy in cold blood, somebody in the back of the head, and he got a bunch of money. What is America's gone full-blown idiocracy?
Karmelo Anthony, with the K, posted bond after his family raised over $400,000 in a GoFundMe. And today, they held a press conference. And let me tell you, if this is their PR strategy, they need a refund. They said the dad had to take a leave of absence from work and the little sister's scared to sleep in her bed. And they had to move for safety. And you know what? That sounds scary. Almost as scary as the family of a 16-year-old boy who lost his life because of your son, and he's never coming home. Let me be real clear. You do not get to cause irreversible trauma to somebody else's family and then try to turn the narrative like you're the victim. You don't get to raise $500,000 to upgrade your life and then act like you were the one that suffered the most. Videos are being released now, conveniently after he posted bail, and we're supposed to feel bad because suddenly your house is too quiet? Because your luxury rental feels unsafe? This is not a case of racial injustice. This is a case of moral failure. A case of a family who is so blinded by victimhood that they forget that someone else's son will never get a press conference, will never get to sleep in his own room again. If y'all wanted sympathy, you should have started with accountability.
Karmelo Anthony's family is trying to outdo BLM. They set up a GoFundMe for legal funds and have raised over $500,000. They're spending all this donated legal defense money on a new house and a new car. It sounds a little bit like the heads of BLM, but besides the point. If there was ever a tutorial on how to race bait your community out of their own money, this would be it.
This is comical. So there's a press conference for Karmelo Anthony, headed by Dominique Alexander, who has a criminal past but calls himself a minister. And they're treating this kid like he's some celebrity, like he's Diddy or some shit. He's got to have a press conference. When's the last time you had any murderer come on and give a press conference? Nobody does that shit. And especially when they haven't even had a trial yet. So Metcalf's dad shows up and refuses to leave. It's a free world. And this guy lambasted him and said he's failed into the political sphere. Failed. What he meant to say was he's fallen. And he gets up there and he talks like some damn minister. What is it with people putting minister reverend in front of their name when they're out soliciting money, got a criminal record, stealing, cheating, lying, and then talking like there's some pastor at a church? They are making this kid look like a celebrity. And there's another kid by the last name Allison on trial right now, a white kid, for stabbing someone, and that kid's going to get possibly life in prison. And he got out on bond and he's on house arrest. Cool. That's what they do in Texas with juveniles that are waiting on trial. But to treat someone like they're P. Diddy or some kind of celebrity is just retarded. Retarded.
Oh, so allegedly Karmelo has not used not one dime raised from the GoFundMe after a fundraiser of his $250,000 bail. That wasn't paid for by the GoFundMe, y'all. Neither has the house, the car, all the things that you guys have been trying to say that the family was doing with the money. No, they just happen to have their own money, and they happen to be able to pay for their own son's legal defense. Isn't that shocking to see a black person that can take care of their children? Is that shocking to you guys? Does that make you guys upset? Like, they haven't used $1 from the GoFundMe. It has not been withdrawn. It's still sitting there. So I'm just so tired of seeing all the racism in my comments, all of the hate in my comments. This young man deserves the same amount of justice that anybody else would deserve from defending themselves. Okay? Until you personally know what happened, do not speak on it.
And now people are saying Karmelo's family took the GoFundMe money to buy a new house and new cars and things like that. But little do they know that his family actually has money. I don't know why people can't believe black people can come from money. But anyways, they said the article has came out and said that that family has not touched any of the GoFundMe money yet. And not to mention, do y'all forget how long it takes to even get that money in your hand? And I don't even think they give you the full amount at that. Like, there's so many percentages and taxes that are taken out. So even if they did take that petty little $200,000 and bought a house, a $900,000 house and a car, like, y'all be delusional. Y'all really think they did that for that? Or y'all think they really used that money to do that? But anyways, people were also asking or trying to figure out how he ended up getting out on bond and a bond reduced. Clearly he has a good lawyer because he has money.
The family has reportedly bought a new house with the $400,000 that has been raised.
So the amount of misinformation being spread about what Karmelo Anthony's family supposedly did with the money they raised is just on another level and clearly on purpose. Let me explain. So every conservative influencer and garbage media outlet is screaming all over the internet that Karmelo Anthony's family either bought or rented a $900,000 home and purchased a brand new car, some are saying Cadillac Escalade, with the money they raised on Give, Send, Go. But it's all very easily disproven nonsense. So that's what I'm going to do real quick, starting with the house, which if you do 5 seconds of work, you can tell these people have lived in for a while. Because first off, the images that people are cropping and sharing of the house originally come from a Facebook post back in 2023. And then shortly after the incident, the photos along with this text were shared on TikTok, but the original post is from 2023. And if you simply look this house up on Zillow, you will see that the last time this house was listed was basically October of 2022, or towards the end of 2022. And manifesting God's promises all of 2023 does sound like something that somebody who bought a house at the end of 2022 would say. But if that's not even enough for you, they also talked to the neighbors who said they were living a lavish lifestyle of Amazon Prime and Domino's pizza deliveries. But you know what the neighbors didn't say? Oh, those people, they just moved in. So yeah, it's very obvious that these people already lived there. The only shred of truth in this whole thing is Karmelo Anthony's father did say they would be moving because they're receiving threats now. Something that is very common in high-profile cases like Kyle Rittenhouse's, for example. Only difference is when he did it, the Daily Wire framed it as him moving to a safe house. But what about the car that 3 different media outlets and every conservative influencer is claiming he bought with the GoFundMe money? Well, the story behind that is even dumber. Because 2 of the outlets cite the Daily Mail, and the Daily Mail thought this was enough evidence to put it in a headline. Talking to the neighbor, he got a new car, the resident told the outlet. If you look at the license plate, it's got a paper tag that says expires June 4th. Like, I don't think I have to explain to you how dumb that is, right? Because even if it is their car, we wouldn't know when they bought it, and they could have just lost the license plate and applied for a new one. Or there's probably a million people going in and out of there, lawyers, all kinds of stuff. How do we even know it's their car? I also just want to quickly point out that it takes 5 days to even get any money after your first donation from Give, Send, Go. And the first time we heard about Anthony's Give, Send, Go gaining traction was on the 7th. And these reports about the spending came out on the 15th, which means they probably talked to the neighbor on the 14th, which gives you like a 48-hour window to do all this spending. So when I say that the misinformation going around is so bad, it's clearly on purpose. This is what I mean. It's very clear that this family already had money, and it's also clear that there's no evidence of them doing anything nefarious with the money donated. So that should really make you question why all these so-called media people are going around saying it.
Now, remember how folks online were quick to say Karmelo's family was out here spending donation money on houses and cars? Well, Karmelo's mom, Kayla Hayes, stepped up and addressed all of that directly. She did a press conference to clear the air and speak her truth, and she made it very clear she hasn't received any of the money from those fundraisers. For everybody who's been spreading rumors, this is her response. Listen closely to what she says, because this comes straight from the source.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
The father of Austin, Jet Metcalf, shows up at Karmelo Anthony's family press conference, delaying the press conference by an hour. He was asked to leave, but he refused to leave. And there's a court order that states that Karmelo Anthony shouldn't be around their family. Now, I don't know if that court order extends to the Metcalf family, but for sure for Karmelo Anthony. But they asked him numerous times to leave, and he refused to leave. That's Jeff right there. They had to call the police for him to leave. And during the press conference, Karmelo Anthony already confirms, better yet, confirmation that she wasn't able to use her donation, the donation money, until today. So all those people lying about, oh, they brought a brand new car or they moved to a house using the donation money, that's a lie.
You know, I'm finding it very interesting, this Karmelo Anthony case, and how white people are reacting to the same shit they did with Kyle Rittenhouse and George Zimmerman. They wanted so bad for Karmelo Anthony to be a thug. They wanted so badly for him to come from a broken home and be poor and not have a good family value system at home. They wanted that narrative to be so prevalent in this case. And it's not turning out to be that. It is just so interesting. So, GoFundMe only works for white people? GoFundMe accounts only work for when white people commit crimes? With the dude on the subway who choked out a homeless man, his GoFundMe was totally fine with you guys. Derek Chauvin's was totally fine. Kyle Rittenhouse's was totally fine. Y'all seem to be having a problem with black people sticking together to make sure that the justice system operates the same, even though we know it doesn't. No, they did not take GoFundMe money and buy a new house. I know that's the narrative y'all want to push out there, but no. None of this shit y'all are seeing. In fact, the information coming out now is Karmelo Anthony was clearly bullied by these twins. He carried a a weapon because, this is what happens when two boys bigger than you are picking on you. And as the facts are bearing out, it's starting to look like he defended himself. And that's also too driving, y'all. We see what you're doing. You're not going to bait us. We're not going to the streets. We're not going to do it because we understand the game that y'all play now when it comes to stories like this. So you go ahead and you perpetuate whatever narrative you'd like. We're past it. We're way past it. Now, Black people, don't be baited by this nonsense. Don't be. Do what you continue to do. Just look at it, chuckle, and make your response. Don't tag these folks. Don't piggyback off of these kinds of videos. Don't encourage it. Don't monetize it. Because it is just laughable at this point. It really is. In fact, you know what? I'm revisiting my thoughts on segregation. Separate us. Just do it. Because this kind of nonsense will clearly show that Black people thrive. They're only showing their ass. Clearly. Now, we know how this is going to go. We do. We know how this is going to go. And when it goes the way we think it's going to go, we're going to stay home. And we're not going to do what we've done in the past. We reorganized. Because remember, it's still a Trump administration. We're not taking to the streets for anything. We're going to boycott in other ways. So white people, y'all can save it. We're on to you. We're on to you.
This situation is hard, y'all. A young life was lost, and another young life is now caught up in the system. There's pain on both sides, and it's deeper than just this one moment. But what hurts the most is seeing how quick people are to tear down a Black family just for trying to survive, just for asking for help. Before you judge, before you point fingers, really ask yourself, would this same energy exist if Karmelo wasn't a young Black boy? We talk about justice, but justice ain't just a word. It's about how we treat each other, how we support each other, and how we listen, even when it's uncomfortable. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. Thank you for caring enough to hear the full story. Drop your thoughts in the comments, respectfully. Let's keep this conversation going, because it matters. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Stay safe, stay aware, and stay lifted.